Let's start with one of my role models, the Padma Shri award-winning executive director of Seva, Reema Nanavati. Reema Ben has been working with Seva since 1984, was elected as the General Secretary in 1999, expanded membership to make Seva the single largest union of informal sector workers. Reema Ben oversees 3,200 self-help groups, 110 cooperatives, 15 federations, and 1.9 million women members. She shows every day how impact is God's work. She is the very worthy successor to Seva founder Ela Ben Bhatt. Reema Ben is also co-chair of IFP's Gender Equality, Women and Livelihoods Community, a friend, philosopher, and guide. Please welcome Reema Nanavati.
Namaste. The Impact Future project is here. Timely, important. Most lucrative investment of the Impact Future project in terms of returns and duration is in what we call the economy of nurturance. Economy that creates jobs for poor women and workers. Economy that does not displace jobs or skills, but adds and builds on existing jobs and skills. Economy that does not plunder natural resources, but in fact nourishes Mother Nature, tree, water, air, land. What we need in impact investing is Recovery and Resilience Fund for women-owned enterprises. What we need is national impact missions that will set direction and pace for investments in building economy of nurturance. I want to elaborate the concept of economy of nurturance. I must say that the primary objective of microfinance envisaged in the early days was development, to remove poverty and hunger and sustain peace. That vision for us is not changed today. That is what we call it today, building an economy of nurturance. Therefore, in contrast to finance in general, in the larger context, the economy of microfinance is an economy of nurturance of its clients, nurturance of their health, their work and skill, of their family and community. Today we have women leaders in microfinance at all levels. In the area of microfinance, women leaders have emerged in sizable numbers. They have learned from their work. They have performed well. In these women leaders, we therefore have a powerful tool which has a direct link to economics. How can we wield this tool for nurturance of the poor, working women, for nurturance of not only her, but also of her family, her society, her community, her village, and thereby of the universe? What we are saying is building a nurturing economy when our rural subsistence economy is getting eroded and depriving the poor of their basic needs. The movement of microfinance and SHGs has grown, the numbers increased. Yet, we wonder today, has the impact been what could have been? Have the lives and livelihoods of women they serve changed to the extent it could and should have been? Why do we find, to use an analogy from corporate world, a glass ceiling and also a glass wall that hampers not only upward growth but also horizontal development? At this conference, we have to think together and understand that it is not enough that we lend money or invest in equity. We must invest or lend with nurturance of our micro client herself, her human environment, that is her family and community, as well as her ecological environment. We are not looking at growth by leaps and bounds, but growth that is the outcome of nurturance. It is not enough that we give loans or equity. We must examine what is the end result of investment we do. How do they influence the world around the micro person we set out to serve? If she lives in a district where migration in search of livelihood is a big concern, over the years, how have women's financial services helped to mitigate the forced migration or at least reduced it? So, in the way of the nurturing our local to global economy that grows not at the cost of others, because that is not development, we will find business opportunities in uncharted areas. We'll find ways to make tree plantation more profitable than cutting forests, recycling more profitable than new manufacturing. We must try to make this possible. This is the economy of nurturance. Look at the possibility of turning things around to see what a women-led economy would look like. In our experience, where women are leaders, their work is likely to structure around stability and the well-being of the family and her community. Their economic activity is likely to be diverse, many-fold, minimizing risk and maximizing sustainability. This does not mean an end to industry, mechanization, or global trade. Rather, it is the scale, the nature, and the scope of our economic structures that will have to change if the key actors are women. It is time we explored the potential of local, sustainable structures, and it is time women took leadership in building them. Let us begin building towards an economy of nurturance. This is what the Impact Future Project stands for. Thank you.